I quickly want to go over what Achieve is and how we use it in this course, because a lot of times students get confused about where's the textbook, how do I use it, free trial, that kind of stuff. So you should have already watched a couple of videos about Achieve, but just in case you skipped over those or in case you're still confused. So this is our homepage, right? And we're just going to go to week 1 module. Go to the Getting Started. And if you navigate here, there's a couple of videos about what Achieve is, how to get it set up, what the chapter quizzes, also known as learning curves, are. And then if you go down here and click on Next, you should be able, if you haven't set up your account yet, it will walk you through how to set up your account in Achieve. So load student registration, start here. And that video on that page right before explains how to do all of this. What I want to do is once you get into Achieve, I want to show you how to navigate inside that platform. So when I log into Achieve, I've already set everything up and you can see here, this is in my account and I have it, I'm viewing by course content. You can view however you would like to, resource type, week outline, calendar, doesn't matter, just whatever you're comfortable. I like doing it by content because that's how I set the course up. But over here, you should be able to see your grades. You probably won't be able to see resources, I'm not sure, but this is the ebook, so this is the electronic book. So you can go through and you can read all 29 chapters of the book if you would like to, but in this course we are only doing chapters 14 through 29. And you're not going to read every part of every chapter. I have removed some of it just to make the reading lighter for you because there are some weeks where we do, up to 3 chapters in the week. So I didn't want to overload you too much with the chapters and with the reading. Chapter 14, you will read all of chapter 14, and here's the reading for you. So you'll notice I just now went into student mode and this is what you can see. So your grades, ebook, that's what you'll be able to see. But let's scroll down and let's look at the reading. So you can do it this way. You can read through section by section this way, or you can toggle over here, go to ebook, scroll down in ebook, chapter 14, Emancipation Reconstruction. And then you can just read through here. What I like about Achieve is that you guys can also take your own notes. You'll notice up here it says notebook. So you can go through and you can make notes as you're reading through the chapter if you want. You don't have to, but the cool thing about it is if you are to highlight and make a note about something, it will keep it for you. Enslaved worker, let's just highlight this just to give you an example. And then I also want to add a note. And now if I go into my notebook, there it is. So when you are taking your exams, you can go through and the chapter quizzes, the learning curves, you can go through and highlight those answers in the ebook if you want to, and then you can have that will be your study guide or your cheat sheet for the exams because you are allowed to use this ebook and notebook on the exams. So that's how you would access the textbook. Let's go back to my course and just really quickly, Chapter 15, the reading that you'll do next week, you don't read the whole chapter. I took some of the parts out of that chapter, and so keep that in mind. It's not all of chapter 15, and you won't be reading all of chapter 16 next week either. Here are the assignments for chapter 14. So this is the learning curve. There's a video about learning curves and what they are, so you can watch that video. Then you're going to read over this comparative primary source. So this is a first-hand source, a first eyewitness account of what was going on. Just scoot that over so it's not so big. So it gives you like an introduction to the source, And then here's the first one. This is a report on the Freedmen's Bureau by Colonel, oh my goodness, Lissy. And then here's a flyer opposing the Freedmen's Bureau. And you'll notice this is a caricature of a freed person, kind of stereotypical of the time. You can tell that's not being very nice to freed people. You do not have to answer these questions. You do not have to put it in context. What you would do next is you would go to the next thing, which is the quiz over this flyer and this written account. So you would click on the quiz and answer the questions over the primary sources. Open assignment and take it. So you'll notice this one only has 4 questions. I tried not to do a whole lot this first week. And then the map quiz, sometimes it'll be just 1 map, sometimes it'll be 2 maps. It just depends on kind of what I would like for you to review. There are questions over the map. You can go back into the ebook and look at the map and look at the explanation, the information about the maps if you want to, kind of like the details in order to understand it more. You can read about it in the chapter, but those will help you on the map quizzes. So again, it's really cool. It's very easy once you understand how to move through it. One thing I will say about Achieve in the textbook and your questions that come from here, your assignments, they don't populate into Canvas automatically. It will take anywhere from 2 to 4 hours typically. Sometimes it could take 24 hours. If you are not using, when you create your account, if you are not using your Maricopa email, it will not populate into Canvas. So you need to make sure you use your Maricopa email when you set Achieve up. But again, Achieve will have the book. The entire book is here for you. Again, we don't use the entire book. We're only using chapters 14 through 29 in this course. So that's all that you'll be responsible for. And then all of your assignments, again, it depends on how you want to look at it. We can do week outline, what we need to get done this week. Here are the assignments we need to get done. So, learning curves, chapter quizzes, map quizzes, primary, secondary source quizzes, and then some interaction with the AI that is built into your textbook. Some of your short essays will be here in Achieve. So those are 4 major things that you will find in Achieve. Your exams, your discussions, your lecture quizzes over the videos that I post that are me talking about lectures, and then maybe 1 or 2 of your other short essays that are not in the textbook. Those will all be completed in Canvas. So you need to get used to starting in Canvas every week, seeing what is due, watching the mini video, the mini lecture video, doing anything that's tied to that mini lecture video. Sometimes there's a quiz, sometimes there's discussion. Complete that before moving on into Achieve and completing the work in Achieve. All right, this first week, it's going to be a little bit overwhelming. It's going to be even more overwhelming the second week, but by the 3rd week, you should kind of have it down. It should be easier for you to navigate through this course.